still on the. I got you right here, bro.
No, cause I'm asking him specific question. All right, so did they teach the Bible in slavery?
Yes, sir. So now, what's your point?
What's your point? Because in the Bible he just read, obey your master. Yes. So if you're teaching that to slaves,
Ephesians 6.
Obey the master, bro. What are you talking about?
So watch this. Let's deal. Let's deal. Nate, right?
Nate, yeah.
So let's read it real quick what it says in the Bible. Remember,
obey your master.
It don't. Watch this.
Did.
Now we're gonna go into why it says that. All right. Let's go into why.
They don't want slaves running. It's for oppression.
Now let's read it. They're gonna read what you
keep you oppressed. Yeah, be my slave. Don't run.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 22.
Watch this, Nate.
Servants, obey in all things your masters.
The Bible says.
Why they teaching that to slaves?
Let me show you.
They want you to be oppressed.
Nate, let me show you. Read that again.
Obey in all things.
Start it over.
Servants, obey in all things.
Did it say slaves?
Servants.
So we're gonna let's get into it.
Teaching that to
Nate, let's get into it. We're gonna get into it. Go ahead.
Obey in all things your masters.
The Bible says servants obey your masters. Now, why would one be your master? It says servant obey your masters. Let's get the history. Is that it?
You finna prove. Thank you.
According to the flesh.
According to the flesh, right? Now let's go to Leviticus 25 to get the history of why in the New Testament it says servants obey your master. Because that's what it says.
Remember, they teaching that to slaves.
Nate, I'm about to show you
Remember
right now.
that
I'm about to show you right now, Nate. I'm about to show you. Guess what? Did they teach us right in slavery? That was the first question I asked you over there. Did they teach us right in slavery?
I told you the Bible it can be fabricated. They wasn't teaching real.
They wasn't teaching us right.
Some of that shit real, some of that shit fake.
Nate, did they treat us right? They did not. If they didn't treat us right, why would they teach us right? So we have to reevaluate everything they taught us, including servants obey your masters. We have to reevaluate that.
They were
so let's
that part to slaves.
I know they were manipulating the minds. Yeah. They were manipulating the minds.
You oppressed.
You know of Nat Turner? Yeah. Right. They used to use him to teach us the Bible. Servants obey your masters. But guess what? When the Bible says servant obey your master, it wasn't talking about slaves obey your slave master.
How they was using it.
Yes. How they was
absolutely.
Using it.
That's why I said
the way they use it. The way they use it, but
it's to fuck with your, it's to fuck with you.
Yes, Nate. But look, Nate. So now, the way they used it was to manipulate us, and they did a great job with that.
And they're still doing it.
It's still doing it. But guess what, Nate? The way that God wrote it in the Bible, it was not how they were supposed to use it. That's the misconception. So let's get the way that God wrote it in the Bible. Okay. Leviticus 25. 35, go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 35.
Why does the Bible say servants obey your masters? Was God telling us to obey the slave master? Hell no. He wasn't talking about that. But what was he talking about? Go ahead.
And if thy brother.
Watch this. This is what it's talking about. Read.
And if thy brother.
You my brother, Nate, right? You my brother. You my sister. If my brother or sister do what?
Be waxing poor.
If y'all fall on hard times. If you broke, ain't got no job, ain't got no source of income.
And fallen in decay with thee.
Now you done lost your house, you done lost your possessions, you put your stuff in storage, hell, you can't pay the storage bill. But I come along, go ahead.
Then thou shalt relieve him.
And I come along, and I'm doing pretty well, my pockets are sitting right. Come on.
Then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee.
That he may live with me, right? So I'm going to relieve you. I'm going to relieve you of your problems. I'm going to relieve you of your struggles, right? Of your poverty. I'm going to let you stay with me. I'm going to give you a place to stay. Hey, you just lost your house. Hey, come move with me. Matter of fact, I got a place over here. You can bring you and your kids and set up shop over here. Matter of fact, I own a storage unit. Now you can put your stuff in storage. Don't even worry about no money right now. Just get yourself together. Read.
Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury.
Thou shalt not give him. I should not. You know how what the white man does? They lend us money and collect interest off of it. God said we ain't supposed to do that to our people. Hey, bro, if I loan you $100, you're supposed to pay me back $100. That's it. No, 120.
Or are we supposed to be buying fruits and vegetables?
You said what?
Not supposed to be paying money for fruits and vegetables that come free out the ground.
Nah, that's different.
That's the same thing.
Topic. That's another topic. Let's stay on topic. Go ahead.
Why did Jesus
nor
to the
lend him.
That's Nate. That's going somewhere else. We can touch that right after this.
No, it's all together.
Let's finish this real quick. Servants obey your master. Let's finish this real quick. Go ahead.
Nor lend him thy victuals for increase.
This is not what I want. All right, read to 39 is the point. Read 39.
Verse 39. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxing poor.
That's the point. If your brother that lives by you wax poor, becomes poor, right? Come on.
And be sold unto thee.
And be what?
Sold unto thee.
And be sold unto you, right? Why? Go ahead.
Thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bond servant.
Because remember, up in the verses, in verse 35, you relieved your brother of his struggles, right? He fell on hard times, and you relieved him, you helped him out. So now he owes you, right? So now he has no way to pay you back. But so now he has to sell himself to you. Why? Because you're thriving. He got to come work for you now. He got to come work for you now and be your servant. If you got cattle, he got to come be a cattleman. If you got crops, he got to come till the land, or whatever the case may be. He has to work for you because he fell on hard times and you helped him out. So now he owes you. He has no money to pay you back. So he got to work it off. Now he's your servant. Go ahead.
Shall not compel him to serve as a bondservant.
You shall not make him serve you as a slave, like how we were slaves to the white man. God says don't make your brother serve you as a slave. Go ahead.
But as a hired servant.
As a what?
Hired servant.
Your brother works for you. He's your employee. Why? Because he fell on hard times. You were doing well. You helped him out, gave him a job. Now he works for you. So now you're in another term in the New Testament. It calls him a master. He's your servant. You work for him. And when we go to jobs, if you have a job, you have a supervisor, you have a lead, you have a manager. They are your masters for another term. Understand? Come on.
But as a hired servant.
But as a hired servant. So now that brother's your employee. Come on.
And as a sojourner.
A sojourner, someone that lives among you. Come on.
He shall be with thee. And shall serve thee unto the year
shall
of...
do what?
Serve thee.
Shall serve thee. Servant. He shall be your servant, right? Because he fell on hard times. He had no way to provide for his family, his possessions or nothing. You came and paid his mortgage. You came and paid his rent and gave him a job. Right. He owes you money. So he ain't got no money. So now he got to work it off for you. So now he's a hired servant. He's your employee and you're his boss. Another word for boss is master. Come on.
That's the actual meaning right
Yes, sir.
As a sojourner, he shall be with thee. And shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee.
The year of Jubilee is after the 7 years. So he was on these posts. If he didn't pay off his debt within 7 years, he goes free. That's the year of Jubilee. Jubilee is where you forgive all debts after the 7 years. So now let's go back to Colossians 3 and get some more sense on it. Read that.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 22.
Servants,
obey in all things your masters.
Servants, you employees, you hired servants, obey your master. Obey the brother that helps you out. So now, now give me Deuteronomy 33:29, the last verse. So now when the white man picked up the Bible, they said, oh snap. You know what? Let's turn it upside down and give it to them like this.
Teach it to slaves this way.
Yes, so they did. But guess what? We had the Bible before they touched down.
Right.
What they did was knocked us out, slapped us up, took it from us, and retaught it to us.
Beat it out you.
They beat out of us lies. They didn't teach us the Bible correctly. We obviously see that now, right?
Beat it out you so that you can live in a lie, right?
Yes, sir. Now watch this. Now we're out here today to do what? Read this.
Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 29.
Bring it out.
Happy art thou, O Israel.
God says the children of Israel, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're going to be happy. Why?
Who is like unto thee?
Ain't nobody like black, Hispanic, and Native American. We above all people. Read.
O people, saved by the Lord.
People what?
Saved by the Lord.
The Lord is only coming to save the children of Israel, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Exactly. We are his children, not everybody. So he says, happy art thou, O people saved by the Lord. Come on.
The shield of thy help.
Christ is the shield of our help. He's going to come help and deliver us. Read.
And who is the sword of thy excellency?
A sword, you know what a sword do. A sword chopping heads off. Christ coming to chop heads off for us. He killing whole nations for us. Right? For sure. Come on. For the Israelites. For us. Come on.
And thine enemies.
And thine what?
Enemies.
The people that sold us in slavery, the people that taught us the lies, taught us that we was niggas, taught us that we was African Americans, taught us that we wasn't the chosen people of God, taught us that we was the bottom of the barrel, put us in the ghettos, in the slums, give us this horrible education system. Matter of fact, now they funnel us from the school to prison pipeline so that we go into their prison system, and now they collecting checks because a lot of these prison systems are privately owned. It's an investment. So what do? Set society up for us to be breaking God's laws and committing sin all over the place. So now when we sell the drugs, right, we getting locked up for selling drugs. Right. Now when we smoke the drugs, we getting locked up for being a drug addict. Now when we commit the murder, commit the robbery, sister committing the prostitution, now we going into their system. And they making money off of it. You know what I'm saying? So they built this system to keep us in sin so that they can continue to prosper, and we no longer know who we are. We don't even want to deal with the Bible because they use the Bible against us.
Thine enemies.
Thine what?
Thine enemies.
So the same people that did all these things to us is going what?
Shall be found liars.
They're going to be what?
Found liars.
So the way that they taught us, servants obey your master, shall be found what?
Liars.
They're going to be found to be liars, bro. That's what we're proving.
Like I
Bring
said.
it out. Absolutely. So now we understand.
I agree with that part.
Servants obey your masters don't mean that we were supposed to obey slave masters.
Bring it out.
But how the masters was teaching it.
Yes.
That's
Absolutely.
what got us messed up.
Now give us Isaiah 29:13.
I understand that.
Yes, sir. So now we know that, like, let's say you go out into evangelize, or you deal with your people that you know closely. When you hear somebody say, man, I don't deal with the Bible, man, servants obey your master. Now you can go to the verse and let them know.
I've always been like that though since I was a kid, because like I said, I grew up around it, so I know some things. I don't know everything.
Absolutely.
But I know a lot of critical things.
But now
and I'm able
know.
to teach those things to other people.
Absolutely. So now you have the arsenal to teach them now the proper understanding of servants obey your masters moving forward, correct?
That makes sense.
Absolutely. Now read this.
Isaiah chapter 29.
Exactly. The contextual meaning. Absolutely. Go ahead.
In verse 13.
Bring it out.
Wherefore the Lord said.
Now the Lord is speaking. This is what he said. Go ahead.
For as much as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me.
Let's take a look at black people, right? Do we not always honor God with our mouth?
I ain't gonna lie, that's the truth.
We give God lip
Get our
service.
knees, we pray.
Yeah.
Some of us a lot.
Facts.
And we do mention God a lot.
Right.
Sometimes we use them so much we may use them in vain.
Facts. A
like
lot
that.
of our people, majority of our people use God's name in vain.
Right.
They
That's how
out
much-
here saying, like, man, when back in the world, man, I was wicked. You know what I mean? We all lived a wicked lifestyle. Man, before I go rob somebody, bro, I sit there and pray to God that I wouldn't have to kill the person.
Right.
That's in vain.
Or when we see something crazy happen, oh my, that's the first
my.
thing.
That-
oh my. That's
Right,
the
that
first
we
thing.
throw, but that's not.
That's still using it though,
That's,
in a
that's
sense.
not the context of what.
Nah,
when it
but
says-
you're still using his name in vain.
For sure. And we can go into that right after to give you the proper understanding of taking the Lord's name in vain. Because that is a commandment. Don't take the Lord's name in vain. But saying, oh my God, is not what God was talking about. We can go into it.
I'm not that particular, no.
Right. So now, but I'm going to give you that understanding so we can get specifically to know accurately what God was talking about when he said what he said.
Right.
Keep reading.
With their lips do honor me.
So we give God lip service. I'm a Christian. I love God. I'm blessed and highly favored, whatever the case may be. Go ahead.
But have removed their heart far from me.
We said, but we removed our heart. We're not really thinking about God.
See, if you don't, your actions speak louder than your words.
Absolutely.
So if your actions ain't your words, like
if it ain't
like
matching,
you saying it is, you know what I'm saying, then you can't
You're a
expect
hypocrite.
your results to be of something most high.
If
You know
I
what I'm
say,
saying?
yeah, man, I love black people, but then I go shoot
But
down
you're
a black
not moving
person.
like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Your
go
actions
sell
not
drugs.
showing that.
Exactly.
You just
You're a liar.
blasphemy.
Exactly.
blasphemy out the
Exactly. It's
That's actually
it's
a sin
contrary.
too.
Exactly.
That's actually a sin too.
So now this is what God's saying about our people, and we obviously see a lot of our people living like this. They say they talk one
Say
game,
one thing,
but they ain't doing it.
You do one other thing.
And that's the same when our people go out here and say they love God, they believe in God, but they killing and robbing our people, and they ain't doing it. Yep, read.
And their fear toward me.
Our fear toward Him, the way we fear God, the way we learn to love God and serve God, was taught to us by who?
Is taught by the precept of man.
And that's what you keep referring when the white man, you talking about the white man taught us the
You
Bible.
gotta unpack that a little more.
So now, it said their fear toward me, right? Their fear, we learn how to fear God. We learn how to love God. We learn how to serve God. We learn how to believe in God from the white man in slavery. That's why he said, read that toward their fear toward me.
And their fear toward me is taught by the precept of man.
We were taught by the so-called white man the Bible in slavery. Because you're
By
right.
man,
But what I'm telling you, that specific man is the white man.
Right.
Because we know through history.
yeah, like I said.
Right, exactly. So through history, right, we was in slavery, we couldn't read and write. Right, and the only way that we got to understand it because they taught some of us, like Nat Turner, and then he taught the rest the way they wanted to teach it. If we was caught reading and writing ourselves, chop us the hand, they'll kill us, you know what I'm saying?
They only did it that way in certain other ways to keep us oppressed and to keep us from leaving the plantation.
It's a movie called Trick Baby. It's on YouTube. Look it up, Trick Baby. It's a scene in that movie where all the white people sitting around the table and they're talking about us, saying, and so it's pretty much like Democrats versus Republicans. One saying, hey man, you liberals, man, y'all tripping. Y'all done gave these black people positions. Y'all not supposed to do that. Y'all supposed to keep them thinking they slaves. And then the Democrats, so to speak, said, no, you misunderstood that whole concept. We only take the smart ones out the ghetto. We only put the smart ones in position. Why? Because if you leave the smart ones among all the rest of them, they're going to rise the people and they're going to revolt. Yeah, they're going to revolt against it. So that's what they've done. They only taught the smart ones so that they can use the smart ones to manipulate the masses. But God just let you know, our fear toward Him is taught by the precepts of men. But when you open the Bible to get the precepts on how to fear God, matter of fact, let's get how to fear God. Deuteronomy 10 and 12.
You actually get it there instead of getting it from
Right, so we got to go to the source, which is the Bible. The source. Absolutely. Get that real quick, that?
Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12.
So, hey, we about to read, because you know you're an Israelite, correct?
I told you, I don't always agree with that.
Okay, we
Because
can
my
go.
bloodline may be of that, but I was created here.
Your ancestors' nationality. You descend from who? What people?
Yeah, I descend from African slaves.
Remember, the brother brought out the term African wasn't even in.
Well, I don't even know the actual name of the continent.
Israelite. It's called the land. It was called the land of Ham. Before it was called the land of Ham, the land of Canaan. All right, but we come from the children of
If you
Israel.
ask me, I'm just gonna say the motherland. You ask that's where everything came from.
It came from Jerusalem specifically.
And where's Jerusalem?
It's on that continent, but
The
that
motherland.
continent is big.
Yeah, it's huge. That's the
But
biggest
so you
continent.
can't say the motherland.
That's the biggest.
Jerusalem.
That's the biggest continent.
For sure,
That's
absolutely.
the motherland.
But we're the Israelites, bro. Matter of fact, give me Babylon 10:2 real quick. Let me see show you what was. Who got Babylon 10:2? Let me show you a secular reference to show you that scholars understood that we are the Israelites. They understood that we're the real Jews. All right. So we come from Jerusalem. We come from the state of Israel, but the landmass is bigger than what they
I'm
said it
familiar
is.
with that though.
Watch this.
But it's just my I came up. I kind of I don't agree with everybody, so
We ain't
I
got to
disagree
see
a
it.
little bit
For sure.
until until further notice, until
84.
otherwise.
So now watch this. Now you can't disagree. You can't really. Facts is facts. It's facts is facts. So let's
Data
read
is
some
data.
facts. Exactly. Let's read some facts, and you can take and do with it what you want. But we are the Israelites, and we just gonna read. We've been showing it out the Bible, but now starting right there in the year 65, right there. This is the book Babylon of Timbuktu. It's a secular book, worldly reference.
It's called Babylon 10:2.
From Babylon to Timbuktu.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yep, yes, sir, read that.
In the year 65 BC,
Uh-huh.
the Roman armies
So Romans look like what people? Are they Caucasian or Negroes?
The Romans.
Yeah.
I would
as
say,
we know 'em.
generally, I would say they Caucasian.
Caucasians, right? Especially in around 65 BC, those are white people.
Right.
Go ahead.
The Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem.
So this is a Roman, an Italian man, went and captured Jerusalem. Jerusalem, if we hear Jerusalem, we think white people too today, right?
In a sense, some,
The Israelis, the people that got the curly cues and the little top hat, right?
yeah, you would look at it like that.
But let's see what this brother, how he explained the people of Jerusalem. Go ahead.
In 70 AD,
So now 5 years done passed. Come on.
General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state
They went in and destroyed all of Jerusalem. They put an end to our being, our power that we had. They put an end to it. They destroyed it. Go ahead.
with great slaughter.
With great slaughter. This is right before like the gladiator days. Gladiators, they went in and destroyed us. This is right before then. Go ahead.
During the period of the military governors of Palestine,
Come on.
many outrageous and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people.
All the people that didn't flee from the land of Jerusalem, they was committing all sorts of atrocities, like the gladiator games. They was enslaving us and putting us in the gladiator games, right? Having us kill each other, having us fight tigers, lions, and bears and such. Go ahead.
During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated.
So you heard of Julius Caesar, right? So-called white dude, right? He said during that period from Pompey and Julius Caesar, go ahead.
It has been estimated
Come on.
that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
1 million, over 1 million Jews fled into Africa. Further into Africa, doing what?
Fleeing from Roman persecution.
So we know that at this time, the Romans were white people, so-called, right? Now, can white people flee from white people among black people? Wouldn't they be easily spotted out? So we talking about black people fleeing from white people and hiding among other black people. That's what's going on. Now let's keep reading.
Fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery.
Come on.
The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
The slave markets was full of what?
Black Jewish slaves.
So the Jews are black. They fled further into Africa in 70 AD from when the Romans came and conquered us. We are the Jews, bro. We're from Jerusalem. We're God's chosen people. Now, what is required of us? Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12. What's required of us? And that's just one secular reference, bro. We got books upon books, bro.
That's why they always say we the real Jews and stuff like that.
Yes, bro, we are. That's not about how I feel. It's the fact. It's true. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. And now Israel.
Now you Israelite brother. Now you from the tribe of Judah. Now you know that and understand. Read.
What do the Lord thy God require of thee?
What does God require from you as an Israelite? How does God require us to live? Why are we here? Remember I asked you over there? What's our purpose in life? Why we got breath? We didn't create ourselves, so we can't just come out here and try to figure it out. No, God already set something up from before we even hit the deck. Read, what is that?
But to fear the Lord thy God.
We remember, today we was taught how to fear God by our slave master. We got to denounce that, everything they taught us. We got to denounce that. Read.
To walk in all his ways.
So now we're going to learn how we're supposed to walk in God's ways. We're going to learn how to fear God properly. Read.
And to love him.
We're going to learn how to love the Creator. Right. Love the Father, the one that created us, the one that put breath in our lungs every day. We're going to properly learn how to love this man. Go ahead, come on.
And to serve the Lord thy God.
How do we properly serve God? We can throw away what the white man told us completely. Read.
With all thy heart.
What did you say back there? I think you said the right answer.
You heard me say the commandment.
Yeah, bro, read.
With all thy heart and with all thy soul.
With everything you got in your body, bro, you supposed to be serving God, bro. As he said.
With emotion, with
Yes,
sadness,
everything.
with anger, with
Thought.
everything you got.
Come on.
Yeah.
To keep the commandments of the Lord.
How do we fear God? How do we
To keep the commandments of the Lord.
We fear God because we understand if we disobey him, there's a judgment coming. There's a punishment coming. We understand that. So instead of disobeying him, he's like, you know what? I'm not trying to get put to death. Man, I can't fight God. I might be able to fight you or the brothers, but I can't fight God.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong